Ah, we're live!
Hey!
So we are.
These ones are like last time. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to the second part of the Easter weekend / birthday party extravaganza. As you can see, I still have some bunting and the banner and the 28 balloons and some colorful balloons as well, like from yesterday. Because I had a birthday yesterday. I turned 28, but any belated birthday wishes will always be welcomed in the live chat too. So, yeah, thank you everybody for your continuing support from yesterday, as well as following the anticipating premieres of both Legacy Chapter 7 and the deleted scenes video. Plus, there will be another one that's coming up at the same time tomorrow, which we should be saving the best for last. Anyways, let me introduce to a couple of these guys for today, as well as the recurring ones from yesterday. First off, we'll be starting with Michael, aka White House Films, of Solar Forums, and a fellow Thomas Railway Muller of the Thomas fan base.
Hello.
Hello there. AKA the same person who made the replica Thomas toy sets for Christopher Audrey back in 2015, and later as a request I made it. He made it for me as well.
That was a pleasure.
Yep, thank you.
No worries.
And next is Toby, aka TFO Creative Media.
Hello.
Hello there. Next up, Luke, aka 3-1 Testify.
That's me. Hello. Please subscribe to my YouTube. I don't do anything there. And follow my Twitter. I'm on the wiki too. I do things.
Well. Yeah, same to mine as well.
I do things on the wiki as well. Quick, add to the wiki. Add to the wiki.
To the group section. To the trivia.
I'm on the wiki as well.
All right, next up is you know who? It's Jonathan, the one with the Thomas avatar.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, hello.
Hello there. And last but not least for now is Grommet's Fan 01, who just appeared yesterday.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you
Hello.
all.
Now I should have done the Wilson Grommet theme music cue when you introduced Grommet fans.
Sorry, off key.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. We should start an a cappella group. That was quite good. Being brutally honest, that was really good.
Yeah, for some back people in the community on a live stream. Yeah, absolutely spot on.
Well, that's a better start. I can hear everybody on my end, so that's great. All it takes is a simple refresh, and then getting back to the Hangouts a couple of times.
I guarantee it won't last long.
But he's coping. He's coping.
Yeah.
It's good for now.
Yes, it is good for now. Anyway.
Anyway, Dan, where do we start?
Hmm?
Where do we start with this live stream? You're the boss.
All right. How about we'll play the game? Yes.
Do you have another pinata?
I've got something to show you shortly that I hadn't shown yet. You see, I purchased something from a person on Twitter who goes by the name of Clinic on Rails. Yeah, have you heard of him? Have you?
I think I've heard of him. I might be
I
calling
have,
him.
yeah.
No, not really. No.
His username sounds like a brand of drug.
Yes, I purchased something special off of him in aid of some charity to help Sleepy Henry, who was seriously ill at that time.
Oh, right.
Ah,
Of course.
Anyways, without further ado, let's get the box opened. Well, wait, it's already opened, but yeah. Plus, it comes with packing peanuts. Exploding packing peanuts.
Peanuts.
That's all for the box. Anyway, are you ready for the littlest big reveal?
Yep. Ready when you
Go
are.
for it.
Give it a go.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
It's a silver Thomas take and play.
Oh, how
Oh,
amazing. I love it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I actually saw this being advertised on one of my Facebook groups, actually, for sale, actually. I don't know what it was, how much it was, but I saw it on for sale, actually.
All right.
So I didn't even know it was rare.
Yeah, it was extremely rare these days now. Yeah. I
Oh, that's
couldn't
quite
tell
nice.
how much I bought it at because it's been about a week ago or so now. Anyways, that's the front. That's at this side here.
Have they done a gold, Thomas?
Yep. It looks silver, but nearly gold. Anyway, that's the other side.
I think the later Take and Play did a gold Thomas with like the big fat magnets.
Yeah, I do think that. Yeah, I think I remember now. Actually,
Yeah.
And here's the back.
So Dan, are you gonna leave it in its box, or are you gonna take it out?
I think I'll leave it in the box.
Good idea.
Yeah,
No, for
keep
collector's
it
purpose.
preserved.
Yeah.
Well, for preservation purpose.
NRFB.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the whole
Right.
point of a toy is to be played with.
Yep. Quinnick on rails. If you're
It can be played with behind the box.
Quinnick on rails. If you're ever watching this, thank you so much for having it delivered safely and on time, right before my birthday, which was on April the 20th. That's yesterday.
Safely and on time. That sounds like it's been extracted from a Thomas episode.
Very much. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Never open the box. The reference.
That's what I'm saying earlier on there. You've ruined the collector's value. Never remove from box.
Just enjoy the fun of playing with it.
Yep. Dexter's Lab, everybody. Okay.
Just a packaging peanut rusty on your hat, curiously.
And there it shall stay.
Anyways, I'm going to take a look at the live chat to see if there are any questions left for me to answer them, or at least for everyone else as well.
Dan, did you have anything else planned for this stream? I mean, other than the unboxing.
Well, I was thinking about Hangman game shortly. Yeah.
Round two.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
round
can show you some of
right.
my drawings.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we played a Handman game yesterday. We only did one round, but maybe we'll do a few more today.
I think we just forgot to do it any more
We
rounds.
just basically
So,
got deep in conversation about political things.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Do you want me to keep doing Emma's paint drawings and butchering our classic beloved characters?
No, not after that, Percy. I haven't made.
No,
I
it was
haven't
good. It was a
made
good
it
Percy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good Percy yesterday. Anyway, I'm reading the comments on the live chat. Thank you, Christopher O'Shea, for the belated birthday wishes. And James Van 143 said, "I've opened mine, but I don't play with it as a toy." 66. Oh, looks like Dylan May has 2 questions for me. Oh boy. Number 1, what is your favorite part of Legacy Chapter 7? Well, a tie between Jack and the Soto Construction Company and the Great Discovery. They're both fun to work with. No other reasons apart from that. So yeah. And number 2, what is your favorite quotation from Thomas and Friends? I couldn't think of any favorite quotations really. Sorry, but from both the books and the TV series, that they all have a unique and interesting quotes. For anyone to recite and have fun memorizing these lines as well. So yeah. So thank you for these questions, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to see yesterday because there have been some technical difficulties, i.e. connection issues. And thank you, Liam, for the Happy Easter, Duck message.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
We've barely begun. No.
Oh, that reminds me. I'm not sure if I've asked this question, but do you have a favorite part in Chapter 7 of Steam into Legacy? Now that I've answered the question from Dylan May. First off, we're starting with White House Films.
I think it was just like all like the way you talked mostly about the model series out there. There was quite a lot of quotes from members of the cast I actually quite liked, and I just found it quite interesting there as well because I'm very interested to know like more about the making of Thomas and how to film miniatures at the amount of budget that they went for, and maybe saying there's other ways we could probably maybe film miniatures on a maybe lower budget but also achieve the same output as they have as well.
Yes.
If you know what I mean. So
yeah,
I find most of the stuff like relating to the model series very interesting indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, a moment that what's that, Dan?
I did some bit of research on a Soto Island fan site, mostly on the brief mentioning of Series 12 when it comes to reducing production costs, in terms of the filming of the models, as well as prior to the transitioning to the CGI. That was back in February of 2008 when Conductive One visited Shepton Studios during the filming of Hevo Thomas, I believe.
Oh, right.
Is that the one where the big purple American engine came in there?
Hank. Yeah,
Hank.
You're close.
Hank. Answer Hank.
Hank.
Yeah.
Next. Howdy, Thomas. Now you look like one of the finest little engines I've ever seen. And that's how Hank talks. That's his voice.
Finest little engines I've ever seen.
That's a tease for his season 23 voice. Hank's going back, guys.
Spoiler alert! Hank's returning.
And I'm voicing him. It's me.
Explanation mark! Exclamation mark! Explanation mark!
Those were the days where you introduce a one-off character and never see them again.
Thank goodness they don't do that anymore.
And all that money, they can engage one models of them, and you only have to use one in production.
Who else wanted to see Billy return in season 23? Hashtag Billy Gang.
Yeah, I do.
No, I do not support hashtag Billy Gang.
Hell no.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I think if he was written properly, he could be okay. But I have no comments on Billy.
Do you know what? I feel like if you're going to bring back one, Molly would be a great prime candidate.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, considering how they're pushing for this whole diversity in this, then I think that having Molly as a part of it regularly would be not a bad decision to make. And considering how many cameo appearances she made after her introduction, you think she had some love and respect by the crew.
I'd love to see Molly back, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen because, they introduced Rebecca and she's already taken up the yellow engine spot, and I guess. I don't know. I'd like to see Molly. I just don't know.
Molly was the original yellow engine.
Okay, guys, get this from James Band 143. Just recolor Charlie's model to orange and modified slightly. That's Billy for you. Hashtag Billy Gang.
Give him some funny teeth, and that'll be Billy.
Yeah. Back teeth as well.
I actually like the American narration for Billy.
Anyways, I'm doing fine. Thank you, Mikey, and I hope you're having a very happy Easter as well. Anyways, so getting back to this, it means the Legacy Chapter 7 question. Wow, I've asked a good question to what comes. Next is Toby, aka TFL Media. Do you have a favorite part in Chapter 7 if you have watched it?
Well, I did watch it. It was really great. Very high production values, just great information. I mean, but I guess that the whole anything revolving around the pack, particularly that particular image that stood out to me was actual footage of the underside of Jack's original model with the back bucket, with the back spade. The only sort of images I've seen of that is the concept art. So I never actually knew they actually went to attempt to try and actually pull that off. So that was actually a nice reveal. So
for the longest time, that was always a rumor that they never actually built the arm. But then that image surfaced a few years ago, and everyone was like, "Ooh." So yeah, it's always exciting to see that image.
Yes, Jack's backhoe that existed.
I mean, I already knew about Nigel, but it's just I just feel like that. I mean, to be honest, it's understandable why they didn't use him, especially since you already had a character that was used for transportation.
Nelson. Yeah.
Yeah, but Nigel, he just has a nice design.
I like his
Yeah,
face.
I
He's got a cool face.
Just so 30s, and
He feels so right in that world.
Yeah,
Like, even
but-
though you didn't see his model physically, like the design.
But I can
gorgeous.
also see him parked outside, like Marin Station's its car park with Madge just collecting parcels and supplies and stuff.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me of that Dyson lorry that appeared in like some of the classic series episodes.
Oh yeah. What the one that's got the Ayrton model? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nigel would have. Oh, carry on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I wonder what kind of personality he'd have. I guess he'd be kind of like cocky. I guess maybe just based on like the face. But I mean, I don't know. I'd like to see that, like what they were going for with his character.
I don't know. I got Sunshine vibe personalities from looking at Nigel's concept art.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can kind of see where you're coming from.
Kind of like young and naive. That's Sunshine.
No, it's just that like when I was a late bloomer when it came to tugs. So
Percy, yeah.
So when I saw images of Sunshine, I just thought that he was going to be one of those stereotypical, lovable, jester, idiot kind of characters. But as you went into the series, with his voice particularly, he's someone who has exudes much more confidence and humor and understanding. So it was a nice surprise to get and I think it is delivered through the voice perfectly with Sunshine. And I feel like
they could have played him as like the baby of the team, like they did with Percy and Thomas. But I mean, I'm glad they didn't. You know.
Yeah. So in short, Toby, that your favorite part would have to be the retrospective of Jack and the Pack.
Yeah, but I do question raise my eyebrow with some contradictory information with some because with stuff that Unlucky Tug presented when he did his editorial on Jack and the Pack. And I just don't know which one to believe. That's all. Because there's some information. I mean, there's more. You delivered a lot more information, but particularly when it came to sort of like titles for episodes. Like, I mean, because you said that you said in chapter 7 that the episode that starred Patrick was originally going to be called "Who's the Boss." But according to
that might be the working title as well, yeah.
But according to Unlucky Tog, apparently it was meant. He claims it was meant to be called "The Importance of Being Patrick."
That's what
the funny with that is
meant as well. Yeah.
The funny thing with that, there was also like one of the canceled episodes that was also called "The Importance of Being Patrick." So it's a bit up in the air, I guess, as to like what the actual title is going to be.
Hence why I'd vote for "Who's the Boss." Not just that it's a working title, but you get the idea of who is the most important kind of thing. So yeah.
Well, whilst we're on Jack in the Pack, real quickly, I just want to just give an acknowledgement to Kelly because he's one of my he's my favorite Pack character. I love his design. I love his character, and I also like how the fact that apparently, well, according to the Wikia, he actually belonged to Miss Jenny's father. And I love that bit of
that's right.
That he's quite an old machine, but he looks like he's as tough as nails.
For me, a tie between Ned and Buster.
Well, I love how carefree and just open-minded Buster is about the world. He's so simple.
Yeah,
I love it. I love Buster.
I like Byron.
What is yeah, we've got Byron. Who else? What else are favorite characters of the Pack?
Mine too. But nowadays I've watched Tiny Toon Avengers. Concord Condor for some reason kind of reminded me of Buster when it comes to lovable characters. You know, Concord is a purple condor, bird who's dopey and bashful, and he tends to trip over his own big feet as well. And he often notices yup, and nope. If you had ever watched Tiny Toons, that is.
I never did.
I think my favourite still has to be Buster. I think he just seems like a nicer version of George. This opposite parallel of George. I think Buster just seems like nicer, and like he can be a bit naive because when he's racing against Max and Monty, he can't. He think Max and Monty tease him that he can't win, but like at the end that he does win. If you know what I mean, it's a nice story, and I think that's my favourite Buster story.
And then
I'm
in the-
really looking forward to Digs and Discoveries because I just cannot wait to see more of the pack.
Oh yeah, I can't wait either.
Are we getting more
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, we are. We're getting it in Digs and Discoveries
Digs and
in
Discoveries.
this year.
I'm looking forward to Digs and
I'm somehow
Discoveries.
intrigued at the title. So yeah,
Yeah.
Well, who are we getting back?
Jack
I
and
think it's just
Alfie so far. Yeah,
it's just the current cast that's in CGI. I think.
Yeah,
Oh dear.
that was in Sodo's Legend of the Lost.
Lost Treasure.
Oh,
Plus, I think there's also Darcy, maybe, but I'm not really
Yeah,
sure how she fits
Darcy.
in.
Darcy's new, and so is Stefano.
Ah, that's right. Yeah.
Stefano, yeah.
Is there Lupez? Is it Lupez? Is one of the new characters? What's his name?
Lopez.
Lorenzo.
Lopez.
Lorenzo?
Yeah.
Lorenzo. Yeah.
There's also Pepe and Gustavo.
Yeah.
Pepe and Lorenzo.
I'm quite excited for the end of the episodes.
Getting back to the Legacy Chapter 7 question.
Right. Right.
Luke, do you
Yes,
have
right.
a favorite part of Legacy Chapter 7?
Yes, I do. As I love the Jack in the Pack bit, but I think I loved your tribute to David Mitten and George Carlin.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
it's wonderful.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, Mr. Merlin's here.
Hello,
Hey!
Callum.
Callum,
Hello.
Hey, hello.
we're just discussing Chapter 7 of Daniel's
Hello,
recent
Callum.
video.
Yeah, we're talking about our favourite moments.
Yes.
That's funny.
Ah.
You should hear him by couldn't, which means I have to refresh the Hangouts. But don't worry, it'll still be going. So I will be right back.
Callum, you did it.
So that I can hear
Daniel's
every
leaving now.
connection issues. Sorry.
But who will be the host? Who will be the host?
You'll explain yourself the host in a sec. You did it last time.
There
Yes,
can only
yes,
be
that's right,
one
it's me.
host.
Okay.
That was brief.
Wow, that was fast.
Callum,
Didn't
say
get any time to
hi.
be the host.
That's what she said. Oop.
There you go. Now I can hear Callum as well. Problem solved.
Hooray!
Anyway, Luke, favorite moment, chapter 7.
Yes.
Uh,
Chapter 7.
the George Carlin, David Mitten tribute. I thought it was lovely. It got my heart all swelled up. Just hearing like David's last
Yeah.
couple of moments in the interview. I guess that was always like difficult to read. You know, he's like Thomas in CGI. Oh no.
For those of
But,
you that hadn't been the early days of the Thomas fan base on YouTube as of 2008, shame on you! Oh, shame on you! Now you watch My Little Pony! Just kidding.
No, but it's like it was so sad to see him like like going out on that sad note, and George Carlin too, and it's just like, oh no, the greats.
Mind
But-
you, I did do music video tributes in the dedication to the memory of the David Mitten and George Carlin, respectively. Well,
Yeah.
the David Mitten's one did make sense because I did use the song that's played by performed by the late George Michael, titled "You Have Been Loved," utilizing the footage of Henry from series 1 mostly with Cole and Flying Kipper. Yeah, you see the idea. Whilst the George Carlin one, that didn't make much sense. Why? I used whilst it did make sense with Thomas footage, but it didn't make sense with the other footage from other films and shows I've used, like Home Alone and Mr. Man, and maybe that's Home Alone, the movie. And that didn't make so much sense. And the song I've used for that one was Simply Red's Holding Back Their Years.
So from what I understand, you didn't use George Carlin footage for his George Carlin tribute.
Nope, sadly.
Well, you've learned from your mistakes, I guess.
I recall that George Carlin's last sort of like movie gig, he played Fillmore in Cars, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He played Fillmore.
Yeah.
And Zugor in Tarzan too.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
And some wizard in Happily Never After.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Hey, Dan, on the
Yes.
the subject of steaming to legacy, you know how you said you've been mentioning you said you're covering a lot of stuff. So I want to ask would you I'm just trying to see
Okay.
I'm trying to do a screen share.
Take your time.
I'm trying to see if this actually works. But yeah, can you see the screen?
Screen shares. There you go.
Well, I want to ask Dan.
Yes.
will you be addressing this?
Ah, yes. That will be addressed in one of the later chapters. I wouldn't forget that. Don't worry. So yes,
the film that could have been.
Yeah, what could have been?
Hmm?
Yeah, what could have been?
What could have been? Yes. That said, that will
You
be
know-
covered in one of the future chapters. So
Actually-
don't worry, I won't forget that.
You know, someone
you for
actually
bringing
said to me that they thought that these holes on Thomas's boiler were bullet holes, but they're actually rivets. Them looking up close, they're just rivets going along the tank.
Yeah,
Silly Billy.
They clearly look like rivets. Oh yes, that reminds me. Whoa, MT! Rivets not allowed! Get rid of the rivets! They're too big! They look like marbles or Smarties!
Jeez.
How do I get off this screen share now?
Yeah, I think you go back into Hangouts.
Yes.
Is the screen share gone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Excellent.
It's simple. It requires some getting used to, but you get a hang of it.
Well, like anything, I guess.
Yep, there we go. So, in short, Luke, your favorite part of Legacy Chapter 7 is
Your tribute to David Minton, George Carlin.
George Carlin and David
It's
Minton.
very nice.
Thank you.
Likey.
Now, moving on to Callum, who's just recently joined in. Do you have a favorite part or least favorite parts in Steven's Legacy Chapter 7? Favorite part?
Well, first off, I'd like to say it was absolutely amazing, and I'd have to say my favourite part was have to be about all about the great discovery parts.
The Great Discovery.
Yeah, I would. That's an honourable mention for me.
Plus, I did add in something very special for those that are familiar with it, that particular meme from a particular scene back in 2000.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know what this. I don't know this.
That name rings the bell. Ding, ding, ding. That quotation.
I did. It was a nice fact to know that they used 4 different Thomas models to interact with the different scales. I mean, with the scale of the narrow gauge engines and the scale of the pack. I didn't actually.
It was clearly 3. When it comes to different sizes of Thomas models for the different aspects of the show itself, the original standard gauge model, the gauge 3 narrow gauge railway model of Thomas, as well as the Jack in the Pack size. So yeah,
that was established in the 6th series, wasn't it? Because in the 6th series, the first episode of Jack in the Pack, was it Jack jumps in? Yeah.
Yes.
They introduced a scale of upper scale version of Thomas. So I think that was introduced then, even before the Great Discovery. So
of course.
Yeah.
Don't forget in Series 10, the Series 9, that the scholarly railway model of Thomas was made for him to interact with the narrow gauge engines on James.
Oh yeah, I know that, but I just meant where it all started, the scaled up versions of the engines.
Yeah, but the point I was just trying to make is that when watching The Great Discovery, that never occurred to me that because it makes sense, because never did you see Tom, like any other characters interacting. I mean, aside from James, interacting with narrow gauge engine.
And Percy with the Jack in the Pack.
Yeah, or Percy with Jack in the Pack. Like, it doesn't, like, it makes sense because those are the earlier engines that were made to the scale for respective machines and little engines. But when you're watching it, it's just something that doesn't actually occur to you.
When I was little, I always when they always went to the Scarlo Railway or the Jack in the Pack versions. I didn't even know there were scaled up versions when I was little.
Yeah,
I always thought
that's the point I make.
Yeah, I always thought, oh, Thomas looks different, or oh, Percy looks different.
Yeah, that's what I noticed as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's how I felt like when I was little anyway. So the joy of being a child. Yeah.
Oh wait, the hang.
Anyway, who's next for the favorite chapters? Anyway,
so far with Callum, I'd asked that, and you stated that you liked the part of A Great Discovery.
Yes.
Okay, there we go. And now let's move on to Jonathan. Do you have any favorite part in Steven's Legacy Chapter 7?
Or same as Callum, the Great Discovery parts.
Okay, that's very good. Did I ask you the question, Luke? Oh wait, I already
Yeah, yeah.
Woo! Last but not least, for now, Gromit's fan 1. Do you have any favorite parts from Legacy Chapter 7 and why?
I think my favourite part had to be the Great Discovery again, but for different reason.
You're not alone there.
But for the different reason, though, I think, like I said, that my favourite part had to be because I always wanted to know how they made the scene where Thomas is going down the mine in the water. I always fascinated how they made that, and that was my favourite part of how it was made. They've used, I think, was it rigs under the water, and what else was it? I can't remember.
Anyways, hello, Blue Tangenjen in the live chat, and 12 Snow Peach, and Wilbur the Dean Forest Austerity. Oh, did I say it wrong? Sorry.
Austerity.
Austerity.
There we are.
Yeah, I got that right.
Yeah, like I said, I just
205 in the live chat.
like I said, I just find that amazing how that scene was made because I was always wondered how the mechanics worked and when the eyes moved with water because that must have made it must have been hard to work the mechanics when he was going down the water. I always thought that was amazing how they did that anyway. So that's my favorite part.
All right. That's good to hear. The 3 of you like the Great Discovery, albeit for the same or different reasons. Otherwise, but it's good to hear from everyone. Now, did any of you guys enjoy the deleted scenes video?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I haven't seen it yet because I haven't had the time, but I'll probably see it tomorrow and see if the chance anyway. So
Yeah, neither have I. Sorry, Dan.
That's all right.
sorry
So you can still see it at a later time. It's still around.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's already over.
It's going anywhere.
Yes, it's not going anywhere. It's still on YouTube, as is.
Indeed.
So there we go. Anyway, I'm getting to the question from the Star Tugs. What are your opinion on the CGI series? I'll start with them. Well, initially, I was unsure what to make of it when it was announced for Thomas to move to Canada in order to reduce production costs for CGI animation.
I had no idea Nitrogen was based in Canada.
Following Series 12 and later Series 13 onwards, I somehow started to warm up to it, and then the same thing happened again with Big World, Big Adventures. I know how we all felt. Don't worry. I was unsure that how it like the Series 12. I was initially unsure how things were turning up, but at the same time, I had to never giving up hope and still obtaining some faith. Like how Charlie Brown does, since he was a boy who, despite making mistakes and constantly fails at stuff like baseball, and he never always giving up.
I think you would make a good cosplay for Charlie Brown, Dan.
Yep. Of course. Speaking of Charlie Brown.
What do you have in store for us, Dan? What surprises do you have planned?
It's me.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Hello, everybody. SmurfyDan here in a Charlie Brown plushie. And how are we all doing today? I came up from the neighborhood. Oh, wait. I forgot to make us invisible.
Oh, well performed.
Here I am. Here I am as Charlie Brown.
Or should we say Smurfy Brown?
Yep, Smurfy.
Yeah, we can't call him Smurfy Brown. Just call him Charlie Dan.
Charlie Dan. I like
Charlie Dan.
That reminds me.
Dan Brown.
If you'd ever watched the Peanuts specials and films, do you have a favorite film and why? I like, for example, for me, I like Snoopy Come Home, Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, and of course the Peanuts movie. They're all the same. All the same time, they're all pretty good specials and movies. Well, for specials, I like a tie between Charlie Brown Christmas and It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I should probably watch It's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown later today, like before the day's out. You know, it's the Easter special.
Sure. I think
So I grew up on those.
I got a bit nostalgic and watched the Doctor Who Easter special.
It was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Charlie Brown.
Funny enough, I haven't seen the Charlie Brown movie, the Peanuts movie. How is it good?
It's quite nice, yeah.
It's far from good. It was bittersweet and fun to watch.
Yeah, you see, I never got into Charlie Brown when I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah, me neither actually. But I liked from the trailer of the Peanuts movie. I thought it was really good actually.
Yes.
I liked it.
I haven't seen the whole thing. It's
and so intriguing, in fact, that I had to check it out. And sure enough, I did. And somehow I liked it. Other than Inside Out, of course, and Sort of Legend of a Lost Treasure. And of course, Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
You're a fan of Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. I didn't know you were a Star Wars fan.
Yep. I got the complete saga on Blu-ray, plus The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi on Blu-ray.
Are you looking forward to The Rise of Skywalker?
Oh, yes. From a look of the trailer, it should be promising.
I'm just happy that Billy D. Williams is back as Lando Calrissian.
Likewise.
I have a bit of a soft spot for Lando. Actually, at Star Wars Celebration, he came on today. He was like, was it hard getting back into the role of Lando? He said, Lando never left me.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, that's not this. Let's keep the focus.
Yep. That said,
favorite movies in general. That's a good question.
Yes, favorite movies in general. That is a good question. How about favorite movies of 2019 so far?
Oh, so far. Oh, can I go first?
Yep, you can go first.
So far for me, the best movie I've seen so far is 5 Feet Apart.
5 Feet Apart.
Yeah, it's a romantic drama. It's about these two people who have cystic fibrosis. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the condition.
Oh, actually, I've actually heard. I saw the trailer for that. I was interested in seeing that actually.
But the whole thing is about when it comes to people who have cystic fibrosis is that they can't be near each other. Otherwise, they have risk of sort of speeding up their condition or something or causing some issues. But these two people who are in the same hospital, they become sort of romantically enchanted, as it were. And but what it does well is portraying the condition very well because. In fact, one of my friends, Harry Waters, who plays Johnny on LOBR Brighton, my series, he has cystic fibrosis, and so it was a really important film to him. And getting to know him and knowing about more about the condition, it was nice to see that portrayed on a cinema screen. And it was just a very good movie in general, not without its flaws, of course, but it's the best movie I've seen so far. But that's taking into account that in a few days from now, that Avengers Endgame is coming out. That probably will become number one.
Oh, yeah. So before we get back to the favorite movies in 2019 so far, question, I have to read comments from James Van 143. So he said to me here, as I was puzzled as to why the Stanley in space video was going to be featured. That took place way after the CGI change. Well, it's simply focusing on. It's mostly about the popularity of Stanley as a character following his debut appearance in The Great Discovery.
Yeah, I haven't watched the deleted scenes, but have you talked about? Did you ever talk about or address? When that father sent a wooden railway Stanley up into space.
Yes, a toy train in space. Now that's one of those aspects on the popularity of Stanley as one of the General Thomas characters, the supporting characters.
It's just the fact that he's got the mix of white and red. White and red go very well together as colors. He's got the same color scheme as the Union flag. No, the normal England flag. Sorry, Union flag, Union Jack is what that is.
Yep.
So I got my flags mixed up.
Thank you, Austin Anthony, for your belated wishes. Thank you. Oh, it looks like we got a question from Star Tugs. It should be an interesting one. What got you guys into Thomas and Friends? Shall we start with Michael himself, aka White House Films?
Well, basically it all started off back when I was probably 2 or 3 years old. We didn't really have that many VHS tapes in our house, and as far as I can remember, we only had like 2 Thomas VHS tapes that belonged to my sister. And the first ever episode of Thomas I watched was Thomas and the Breakdown Train, and I kind of liked that story, and it kind of stuck with me quite a lot. But out of the 2 VHS that we owned, it was kind of Thomas Comes to Breakfast and Other Stories, the paperback sleeve VHS tape there, and it just cleared all my favorite stories. And I just loved the way season 2 was filmed and all there, and I tried to preserve that VHS as best I can. But then one day I lost it, and I've been trying ever since to find a spare copy online to see if I can just own one again. But since then, I've still got my original Thomas and the Breakdown Train Other Stories VHS tape, but. Yeah, that's kind of how I got into Thomas. I just saw the episode and I thought, yeah, this is going to be a good show for me to take interest in.
Nice.
And I've never left it.
Well, for me, it had to be when I was 2 or 3, or at least I was still a toddler. When I first saw Thomas was through Trust Thomas and Other Stories UK VHS with a pre-recorded narration from Michael Angelis. Right before my family and I moved to the house, different houses, and that's from Thomas Gets Bumped onwards, hence how I was somehow hooked to Thomas and Friends to this very day. Yeah.
Cool.
And next up is TFL. What's gotten you into Thomas?
I mean, I've been trying to figure it out since actually the last live stream. I don't quite know. I mean, it's just always been there. I mean, from my earliest memories as a child, I just know that Thomas has been there. I don't even recall when the first episode I watched was, but I do recall like having several stories like Four Little Engines and other stories, like some of the season 5 ones and others. I think that probably some of my first episodes were actually season 2 episodes, I think, but not actually season 1, strangely enough. Right. Although I do recall being exposed because we had some American neighbors and they brought over some George Cullen dubbed Thomas and Friends episodes with them on VHS, and that was just a bit of a that was a weird experience. So like these voices, that doesn't sound right. That's unusual.
Since when were they American?
Okay, 12 Snow Peach. Good night and have a very happy Easter.
Moving on.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
To Callum, what's gone you into Thomas and Friends?
Well, this dates back to like when I was only a few months old. I'd got the complete Series 5 DVD, and of course, the first episode on it was Cranky Bugs. First watching it, I was like, I'm liking this. Then watch on like a few episodes on, I'm like really getting hooked into it. Then a few months on from that, I get what VHS was it? Pulling Together.
Yep.
Which was from season 7. Of course, episodes on that are amazing. And from then onwards, up to this day, I've just loved Thomas.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very good to know.
Well, why wouldn't you? He's a very likable chap.
Exactly.
Of course, he always will be a lovable character.
No, he's never been ironically enough, Thomas has actually never been my personal favorite character.
That. And thank you, Fusion Firebox 26, for your belated wishes. Thank you. Moving on.
I think we should all wish birthday wishes to Dan if we didn't already.
Albeit belated, which will be welcomed as always. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
We already sang the song.
Yeah, we don't have to go through that again.
Yeah. Next is 3-1 Testify.
Me, Luke. Okay.
On you into Thomas.
Wow. I think it's just always been with me for as long as I can remember. Like, I think part of the reason I'm here today is because of my older brother, because, you know, he obviously watched it before I did, and so he had a collection of VHS tapes from like seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 And then I came in.
I had my older brother at that time. He wasn't to Thomas, but it was switched to me as well.
It was passed on to the younger siblings.
Yes.
Oh, it was never passed on with me. I mean, at the start, my brother was into sort of like stuff that was shown on Fox Kids.
Yeah. I think because like when I was born, my parents got me a couple of season 6 DVDs because like at this time I should probably give it a little bit of context. I lived in the United States, obviously if you couldn't tell, for a couple of years until I was like 4.
Well, welcome to England.
And then I moved here to the UK, and that's where I live now.
You're UK based.
Yes.
Welcome to good old England.
I mean, of course, you're not going to tell us where you live, but what sort of like part of the UK? What county?
I live in Suffolk, which is in East Anglia, and
so you're around the area of Toby's old line.
Exactly, yeah. And so I don't think I live too far away from where the actual line is.
Did you know?
I think that was in Suffolk.
A fun fact: the J70 trams that Toby's based on, their nicknames were actually the Runaway Brake Fans.
Were they?
Brake Fans?
Because they suddenly looked like northeastern region brake vans. So and they just rolled along by themselves, like if it was a train on the run, but it wasn't. It was. They were just powered by themselves.
But just imagine that, like people on Sodor just keep mistaking Toby for a brake fan or something.
That's like a plot for some sort of fan episode.
Okay, to everyone in a live chat, what's gotten you into Thomas and Friends, and how did you came to be today, in terms of the Thomas fan base? That is.
That's a good question. But
yes, everyone in the live chat.
We should probably get to the end of that. Should probably get to the end of that question round about like how we go into chat. We've got a couple more to go.
Yeah.
All right. I wasn't even asked how I got into Thomas.
Yeah, come on.
Take it away. Take it away.
I'm interested. I'd like to hear it as well. Please.
Okay. I was very little. I was a toddler at that time, and I saw a Thomas toy in a toy shop, and I got so excited. I pointed at it, and my mum bought it for me. And I was really happy.
That was very nice of your mother.
Mm-hmm. And the first time I watched Thomas was when I saw one of the Thomas episodes. That was, I think, Thomas and Gordon.
Oh,
classic.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
The first one, actually, very classic.
Yeah, and the first time I discovered about Thomas and the Magic Railroad was a DVD and then a VHS. I don't have the VHS of Magic Railroad anymore, but I still have the DVD.
Funny enough, I still have a UK VHS as from the release of 2000s, as well as one or a couple of Subway toys. I think of Percy.
Oh yeah, they made Thomas, Percy, Lady, and Diesel 10.
Yep.
And since then, I've been a really big Thomas fan.
That's really good to know.
Huge, to be exact.
Awesome. And finally,
and now for you, Grumman's Fan 01, what's gotten you into Thomas the Tank Engine?
I think what got me into Thomas the Tank Engine, I think it was a very young age. I was probably a toddler at the time, or 3 months old. I think my mum just put the telly on, and what happened was Thomas the Tank Engine was on telly, and I think I sat there and watched it, and I was just engrossed in it, and that's what caught the spark. Really, I just fell in love with it immediately. I soon had to get all the engines. I had to get all the VHSs. I think my first VHS was I think it was Is it Engines, Runaways, and Chases? I can't remember what the VHS is called.
Yeah, I know what you're
talking that one, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's that one. That was the first VHS I ever got, and I remember watching that, rewatching all the episodes over and over and over again, and then it just hooked me ever since. And then I went to see Thomas and the Magic Railroad. For some reason, I don't know why I did this when I was little. For some reason, I used to thought that Thomas and the Magic Railroad was called Pizza on the Magic Railroad. I don't know why, but I thought that was kind of weird.
Pizza Fonda?
Pardon?
Pizza Fonda?
Pizza Fonda?
Pizza Fonda?
Pizza font.
Lighten up! It's Thomas the freaking Tank!
Well, I mean, we've gone to the end round of those questions. Was there another question, Dan?
Sorry guys, but I'm gonna have to go now. But I've really enjoyed talking to you all, and hopefully we'll do this again soon. So
well, it's been great seeing you again.
Yeah,
it's
it
great
was.
to see you again too.
Yeah,
So I'll leave you all. I'll say goodbye. So I'll hopefully see you all next time. See ya.
All right,
See you
well,
around.
all
See you
right.
around, Gromit fan.
Bye.
Bye.
Rummy
And
fan.
Starbuck
Hello,
goings.
Scott.
Hello, Scott.
Hello, everyone.
Joins us.
Hello.
Don't
Hello,
mind me
Scott.
in case I couldn't hear him. I'll be right back. I have to refresh. I should be back in a couple of seconds, hopefully.
Daniel Coffee. What are we going to do with you?
Once again, that's me. That's me. I'll be
We
right back.
apologize for this technical fault. Normal citizen goes in shortly.
So, Scott, every time a new person joins this live stream, Dan has to refresh. If you can't hear the new players that come in.
Anyway, before I say happy Easter to everyone,
Happy
And
Easter.
you too.
Please.
Yep. what's everyone done today?
Easter stuff.
I
Eating
went to Bristol.
non-stop.
I went to
Okay.
Bristol.
Dan's back.
Yep. And now I can hear Scott as well.
Hey, happy Easter, mate.
And you too, Scott, and your family. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I
Scott.
went to, yeah.
We were asked by someone in the comments, like for all of us, how we got into Thomas and Friends. And would you like to answer that question?
Well, it's hard to tell, really.
Take
It's
it, man.
hard to tell. I honestly haven't got a clue how I got into Thomas. It was hard to tell because I don't remember these sort of things. But I was only like a toddler, like 2. But according to my mum, I watched it on the telly, and she bought me videos, Earthly models, things like that. And when I was about 3 years old, my uncle took me to the Norfolk Railway for my first day out with Thomas event. Unfortunately, well, I did see Thomas.
Yeah.
I was going to see him, but unfortunately, I got stung by a wasp. We went to the pharmacy. We went to somewhere to get it off me, and then they got it off. And then when we got back, Thomas was gone.
Oh.
Thomas was gone.
Shame.
But I did see Percy and the Fat Controller, though.
Oh, good.
And Diesel.
That's a nice hashtag there, JamesMan 1.3. Hashtag Pizza Fonda.
Pizza
Pizza
Fonda.
Fonda. Somebody
Come on, guys,
should
let's-
do a Photoshop edit of a Pizza Fonda with slapping his face into any picture of a pizza.
Come on, guys, let's get this trending. Pizza Fonda. Mamma mia, Pizza Fonda.
Mamma mia, Pizza
Pizza Fonda.
We're in
I don't know why I find that so funny.
for any context for people who may or may not be joining us, Gromit fan who just departed. For one time, he called Thomas and the Magic Railroad Pizza and the Magic Railroad, and Pizza Fonda, pizza, it rhymes.
Naturally, we came to the conclusion that Peter Fonda must now be Pizza Fonda.
Right.
Anyway, shall we move on to that next question, Dan?
Yep. Or even that, even better. Shall we all move on to Hangman?
Yes.
We
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
actually
go
go
for
on
it.
to what our favourite movies of 2019 were yet.
Yes. Can I hear Luke? Say
Yes.
aye.
Hi, me. Hello.
Did you hear Luke saying aye?
Oh,
What was that
no.
question? What was that question?
For me to
Can you not hear
to
me?
see if anyone's you see, I had a minor connection issues. I couldn't hear anybody other than you, Scott. And
Ooh. I'm still here. I'm still here.
Can't you hear us, Dan?
I can hear you.
yes, I can hear. So far, I can hear you, Michael, and Scott.
Okay.
It's just that so far, Alan, Luke, and Jonathan. Yeah, also a word from my end.
Hmm.
That means I have to be right back again.
Oh, boy.
Friends now.
Hashtag YouTube, we have a problem. Or Google Hangouts, we have a problem.
YouTube, yeah, we have a problem. By the way, Scott, I do like your Starbird Productions art. There's something about that image of Starbird flying alongside Thunderbird 2. That's a nice thing to look at.
Like it should have been Thunderbird 3, but or Thunderbird 1, because when we went to I thought Thunderbird 2 would be good, because I've read a couple of comic strips that Thunderbird 2 did go into space, but unfortunately it didn't go well. And there was an episode of Thunderbirds Are
I'll
Go
go where they were space fisted. Didn't know how I felt about that.
Yeah. Well, on the 2015 series, Thunderbirds Are Go in Series 2, Thunderbird 2 did go into space.
Yeah,
I've got to admit,
I
that
just
was
didn't know how to feel about that.
it was quite good. Yeah, but
Thunderbird 2 is go into space!
Yeah, that's it. Thunderbird 2 is going into space! I love that line. That is so funny.
Just how excited Virgil was that he's going to take his Thunderbird into space.
I know.
He was screaming like a 10-year-old.
Actually, it was actually more like a 5-year-old, in my opinion.
I mean,
But
yeah.
but I went to Bressingham today. We took the kids. We had a friend stay with us for the weekend. He's staying with us again until tomorrow night. But we went to Bressingham because Paddington Bear was there. Thought it'd be nice for the kids to do something different for a change. Oh, look, the boss is back.
All right, I'm back. I'm using an iPad now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear Luke.
Oh, good.
Can you hear me?
How about me?
Phew!
Yes, I can hear Toby. I can hear Jonathan. It's a green line beeping. Michael?
How about me?
There you go. Colin?
Hello.
There you
Excellent,
go.
excellent.
Hear everybody.
Excellent. Hello there, Cam.
Hello.
I'm using an iPad now. Yes, hello guys. Now I'm back on using the iPad. Maybe for a while. Hopefully, as long as the connection's allowing.
Now, where were we?
I was talking
Hangman.
about Bressingham. I was talking about Bressingham. Went to see Paddington Bear, and the kids loved it. They had a picture done with him and everything, and I did some good filming. So there will be a video up soon. It may take a couple of days because tomorrow Ross and I are off to East Anglia Railway Museum first thing in the morning to see Thomas.
Who's Ross?
Oh, Crane Productions.
Crane Productions 27.
Oh yeah, your partner in crime.
Yep.
You can say that, yeah. Well, we've been best mates for over. Hang on a second. How long has it been? We've been best mates for 18 and a half years. So
Wow.
We're like brothers.
Hey.
It's like,
Solid friendship.
exactly. So yeah. So we're really looking forward to it.
That's very nice. I hope you have a great time tomorrow.
Thank you. I'll make sure I post some pictures up and everything on Facebook. And I even got my own Facebook page.
Nice.
My own railway page on Facebook.
Anyways, I should be turning on the camera and hopefully they're focusing on. There we go.
What are we looking at?
Well,
Hangman.
subject.
My favourite part of the live stream, Hangman. I love it.
Subject. Fictional animal character.
Fictional animal character.
Thomas
Yeah.
is a
What?
tank.
From a profile icon order, shall we start with Jonathan?
What was the category again?
Hmm?
What was the category again?
Category. Subject.
What was the subject,
Fictional
sorry?
Animal character.
I missed. Sorry, say that one more time.
Fictional animal character.
Fictional animal character. Okay.
There we go.
I'm first.
Yes, Jonathan?
Okay.
Yes.
D.
D as in donkey.
Yes.
They always start with D.
Sorry.
No!
Downer.
Oh
Sorry.
no.
That's a
Damn.
I think I know what it is.
Wait,
Go
what is
on.
Is it Puss in Boots?
it? No, not yet. No, no,
Not yet.
no, not yet. No.
I think there's an extra life for that one then.
That'll be some other time anyway. Luke.
I'm gonna have to say T.
T as in Thomas.
Yes, as in the tank engine.